All right, guys. So on this Spirit Talk, earlier in the video, I was driving, but I'm going to be sharing this snippet. I just want to let you know this for copyright claim reasons. I do not own this snippet. This is not me saying this. This is me sharing a snippet from a book. This book shared this part. It's not a video. The book shared this part of a snippet, and it's being read on Audible. And the snippet is Esther Hicks and Abraham sharing a message at the seminar in Tampa, Florida. So for copyright reasons, I did want to share that for you, and you guys go ahead and enjoy the message.
Know who wants to amount to anything is trying harder than that. That just seems lazy. And so I have positioned myself, you say. I have a really good boat. I have really good oars. See how they're hooked onto the edge there? I have moleskin on my hands, and I have muscles, and even more, I have determination. And I learned it from my mother, who learned it from her mother. It's what we all do. We try harder, and we say, but how long can you keep it up? And you say, till death do us part. You see, I don't know how long, but all of the rewards, Abraham, all of the rewards and statues and monuments are given to those who really try hard, and I want some of those. And then you often remind us that you have heard that there are more rewards after you die for those who really try hard. So you work hard to convince us in the appropriateness of paddling against the current, and we always listen lovingly because we understand your perspective. But then we have to eventually stop you and say to you something that we want with everything that we are for you to hear. Nothing that you want is upstream.
Nothing.
Nothing that you want is upstream. Not one thing that you want is upstream. And you know how we know that? Because we know the cycle. We know who you were before you were born. We know what your life has caused you to do in launching rockets of desire. And we know that the source within you has become the vibrational equivalent of what you're asking for. And we know that law of attraction is responding to that powerful pulsing vibration. And we know that that's what causes the current. A woman said to us one day not long ago, she went to lunch with her children and came back to the seminar, and she was the first one that we called to the chair to ask a question, and she said, "My child asked me to ask you a question. Why are grown-ups so grumpy?" And we said, because the longer you live, the more you find to fuss and worry about. The longer you live, the more you find things you do not want, and the more things you shout no at. And the more things you shout no at, the more you turn against the current. Jerry and Esther had the delightful experience a few weeks ago of going whitewater rafting on a wonderful river in Colorado.
So guys, if you're ever wondering, and this is my twist that I wear at the front of my head. I don't got my scarf on because I had a headache a few minutes ago. But if you're ever wondering where I get the philosophy that everything you want is already yours, it's Abraham, the collective consciousness that is Abraham, and Jerry Hicks, the late Jerry Hicks, and Esther Hicks, who was able to pass the message of Abraham to us. And I did share a snippet of that. So, you know, with me sharing that snippet with y'all, the purpose of me sharing that with y'all, that's really what changed my mind about everything. About the fact that, you know, a lot of people feeling like you have to work hard and you have to go through a struggle before you can see the light. That is not true. Some people's lives, some people are just born into it. But when you get to a point where you accept it and you let that be who you are, then you're on that frequency. That's what I was talking about in my last video. You're on that frequency. If you continue to stay on that frequency, you're not going to grow. Nothing good is going to come to you. As long as you align with depression, as long as you align with sadness, as long as you align with craziness, as long as you align with all of these negative things that people have called you, that the doctor told you that you had, all of this stuff. And I'm not a physician. I'm just saying that I know scientifically it has already been proven that when people stop stressing, stress is a big cause a lot of illnesses. When people stop stressing and just calm down, right? And what did Abraham say? Stop going against the current. Stop feeling like I'm unhealthy, and if I lose weight, then I won't be unhealthy. So let me go to the gym and overexert myself and make my situation worse, when you can just change a few things about your diet and then maybe incorporate a small 10-minute walk until you can work up to going to the gym, until you can work up to doing this, until you can work up into doing that. You align with what makes you feel right on your path. In the second video, I'm going to share another snippet of this book that I was able to really point out how you use your emotions to get back up to that point where you want to be. So this part of me sharing that snippet with you is just a snippet that I wanted to share of y'all with Esther using Abraham using Esther to share the message with us that you are a spiritual being down here for, to collect information and to change. And the more that you want, the more that we grow. We as a whole, we as direct light beings, that are made in the image of God. That's what they said. If you listen to the whole thing, it's called Asking You Shall. No, I'm sorry. This one is called The Astonishing Power of Emotions. And this is a snippet from the Tampa, Florida seminar that they held in Tampa, Florida. So if you listen to the whole thing, they're really going into detail about what we are, how we work, and how it has already worked for you in your life already. So now you just have to believe and learn how to use that tool to create all the things that you want, and understand that everything that you want, you don't have to work hard for it. You don't have to overexert yourself for it. Everything that you want is downstream, and it's easy to go with the river instead of fighting against it. So that's been today's Spirit Talk. Is, again, part 2. Everything that you want is yours. It's already yours. And that's the reason why I shared with you the reason why everything is already yours.